Hey Capricorn, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are doing the monthly readings, looking ahead at August, what's in store when it comes to love and romance. We do have a couple of other August overview videos, so go back and check those out if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I do really appreciate that. Being such a small channel, each and every one of you do mean the world to me. So please subscribe. I love it. Today I am using the Matters of the Heart Oracle. I do have the True Heart Hidden Feelings Oracle. The Lenormand deck I am using today is the Malefique Lenormand. And then I also actually have the Little Book of Answers with me today as well. So if you do have a specific question in regard to love throughout August, keep that in mind and we will answer that for you at the end. I do apologise for any coughing or sniffling. I have been sick, so I'm still only just sort of getting over that now. But we'll have a look here, Capricorn. Capricorn, what is going on for our Capricorns in August when it comes to love and romance? Love and romance for Capricorn throughout August. Head over heart decisions. Needing to think with our brain instead of our heart. Needing to be rational and logical rather than emotional with decisions when it comes to love. Going against the grain. So once again, for some of you, you're directly having to go against what your heart wants here. You're having to make a logical decision this month in regard to love because, and it's going against the grain of what your heart wants because it's what you know is best for you. You're making a logical decision. I'm getting a couple of different things just coming straight through here. For some of you, this has got to do with moving. I do hear moving coming through, but we'll clarify that here. What's going on for Capricorn in August with love and romance, please? Interesting. Firstly, we have the scythe coming through with the birds. Okay, so the scythe does talk about something very sudden, something very unexpected occurring. The birds is pretty much conversations taking place, a phone call that you're getting. This is something very out of nowhere. You're getting this phone call out of nowhere. You're having this conversation. For a couple of you, there may be an inkling here. Sometimes the bird talks about, like background chatter as well, like rumors or people talking behind your back. Gossip. So for some of you, it may have to do with that. But it's kind of happening out of nowhere, very unexpectedly. And for a lot of you, it's something you thought that you had cut out of your life or had been cut out of your life, because we also have the rats here as well, which is, the mice in the typical deck. And then with the scythe here, this is something that you thought had been, lost to you, cut out of your life already, taken away, broken away from that already. But it's something in the past, okay? The rats, the mice talk about the past quite heavily. Things that you have lost, things that have been taken from you, things that probably are, probably eat away at you, niggle away at you a little bit here, but stress you out a lot, but it's something that you thought was gone already. So you're having a conversation. It does appear to be that this head over heart decision, where you're going against the grain here, is something to do with this conversation from the past. So it does feel like it's an incoming conversation with the past. So someone from, it is still Mercury retrograde as well, guys, which that is quite a common theme with Mercury retrograde, things popping up from the past, coming back around from the past. I feel like I even tapped on something similar to this through the last week's readings as well, when we're talking about your challenges in August, as well as the good stuff in August. So maybe check that one out if you haven't already, because from memory, it was very connected to love, even though it wasn't, focused on love at all. It was a very love-focused reading. So I feel like this is a pairing to that reading, Capricorn. It's quite simply, it's talking about a conversation. Suddenly there's a conversation with somebody from the past occurring. How will Capricorn know who this person is? How will Capricorn know who this person is, please? The key. They may have a key to your house. You may have a key to their house. Maybe you have opened your house to this person. You have opened your heart to this person. You thought there was opportunities with this person. You thought that there was an opportunity for success. I feel like you saw the potential in this person. You saw that there was a potential for this person to, be successful with you, or even just alone. For some of you, maybe that's what the conversation is about too, and you'll know who it is because they literally ask for a key or give you a key. Or ask, can I have the key to your house? Can I come to your house and let me in, kind of thing. Interesting. But we'll have a look here, because this may or may not pick up a different person. We are going to look at your person throughout August. So this may be, a different person to that past person, maybe a future person that you haven't even met yet. But we'll have a look here. Capricorn and your person. What's going on for Capricorn and your person throughout August? A lot of love, Capricorn. A lot of love. We have overflowing. So that does talk about has a lot of love to give, in a rush to get serious, charmer and fast moving. We also see loving. Needs lots of affection. Let love lead the way. Devoted, caring, and passion. Do you know what, though, Capricorn? I kind of feel like that's you. You are overflowing with love and loving energy. It's not really telling me this person at all. It's telling me you. So we'll ask more directly. What is this person's feelings towards Capricorn? What is this person's feelings towards Capricorn throughout August, please? Would you be surprised to see your own card come through, Capricorn? We have the Mountain. They feel like your hard work. Your hard work. But they're feeling as though you are very determined, a very perseverant person. You're a hard worker. That you're someone who's willing to put in the work. But you can be hard work. Not going to lie. It's because Capricorns have high expectations on themselves. And then as soon as they start holding those same expectations to others, geez, it seems like a lot of work to other people. They're seeing you as, they may see you, they feel like you have some blockages, that there's some obstacles that need to be overcome with you, that there's a lot of work to be done here, basically, Capricorn. We do see the Clover, so they do feel as though you're worth investing in. This is that they feel, they feel as though you are worth the risk. You're worth taking a chance on. You're worth investing in. That you could be that lucky 4-leaf clover in this person's life. They do feel like they have a lot of good luck when they're around you as well. That it's kind of like when, because of who you are, Capricorn, because you're a Capricorn, Capricorns, they're not happy to just get their own success. If you are in Capricorn's little bubble, Capricorn wants you to be successful too. And they feel that about you, that you're a hard worker, but not just for yourself, for everyone that you care about. You want everyone to be successful. You know, the people that you care about, you want them to be just as successful as you are. So they do feel that you are like a good luck charm to them, because things start going better for them when you're in their life. But, you know, how many of them actually realize that it's because Capricorn is behind the scenes pulling all these little strings to make that the case? We also have the clouds. They feel as though you are a deep thinker, that you are very, maybe materialistic, very logical, very rational. They think that you are a very logical person. They do have some, you know, they're a little bit confused and anxious about what your thoughts are towards them, your feelings towards them. So it's weird because their feelings towards you are thoughts. So, you know, it does sort of say that they think about you a lot, that's for sure with that. Clarify why we're seeing the clouds as this person's feelings towards Capricorn, please. How are thoughts, feelings towards Capricorn? That's the way they love. They're a very logical, rational lover. They do love you, Capricorn. There is love there in their thoughts. They think, you know, that's one of the thoughts that they have towards you, is that I love Capricorn. It's logical for me to love Capricorn. Capricorn is logical, and, you know, I feel like this person, for some of you, this person is like, I don't know, it feels like they're seeing you differently and understanding you a little bit more than they maybe have previously. And they're understanding that the way that you take care of life is love. Capricorns are very much like, let's just get it done. And this person did not realize that at one point, but now they realize that that is the way that you show love, the way that you think. The way that you think is love, kind of thing. That you think you love what, like, love and thinking, like love and logic are very intertwined with you, Capricorn, is how this person sort of feels about you there. Anything else Capricorn needs to know in regards to love throughout August? Anything else Capricorn needs to know in regards to love and romance in August, please? Seeing lots of structured energy for you, Capricorn. We have the Tower coming through first. So that's very structured, logical energy once again. Very traditional, very regimented energy. A little bit of isolation here. So, you know, I feel like that's you just doing your thing and you know, isolating yourself from love a little bit, just so that you're making sure you're thinking things through very clearly and making those decisions with your logic and your rational thinking, and you're being materialistic rather than emotional. Taking time in solitude to think things through clearly. We have the book coming through as well. So you're learning, you know, you are, maybe that's why you're, you know, taking time away to really research things properly. This could actually have some reference to a library here as well. Because the Tower can sometimes be like governmental type buildings like libraries or institutions. So it could be like an educational institution of some sort, like a school or a library or, you know, anything along those lines, a college, university, whatever. Because the book is, you know, about learning, about education, about an open book. You're an open book. You're very, very structured. It does feel like you are just being very structured this month, very logical with the way you're approaching love. and very structured with the way you're approaching love this month. And, learning more about yourself by taking time alone, learning more about situations and how to deal with situations by taking time alone. The book does also talk about, looking at the story of your life and understanding where you want that next chapter to go, understanding that you are you're the writer of your own story and that the future hasn't been written yet, that you're going to be embarking on that next chapter, however you write that. So very strong manifestation energy for you this month as well. When it comes to relationships, we do have the ring there as well. But I do feel with the book there in the tower there as well, it does feel as though, more so than relationships, it's you focusing on the patterns and cycles of the relationships that have been through your life. So you're learning a little bit more about the cycles and patterns in relationships that you have found yourself. And paying a little bit more attention to those and paying a little bit more, okay, well, logically, the pattern dictates this. And then, I want to break this cycle and I need to change the pattern here. So you're kind of teaching yourself a little bit here about manifesting, breaking commitments and breaking cycles and breaking contracts, breaking soul contracts. For some of you here, and breaking bad patterns so that you can, start new cycles. There is a strong manifestation energy coming through for you, and I feel like that's what it's got to do with, soul contracts. For some reason, it's got to do with soul contracts, that you're breaking the patterns that no longer serve you, and you're, removing those contracts that you're not interested in, and starting new soul contracts, in your energy there. On a love, and being very aware of the contracts that you're making on a soul level, even if you're not conscious of making those, because there's something to be said about soul contracts, right? You everything that you say, that if you say that you're going to do something, that is you making a contract on a soul level. Okay, so when you say to somebody, oh, I'll make sure I'll catch you soon. I'll catch up with you soon. We definitely have to meet up for coffee soon. But you have no intention of actually doing that. You're actually making a contract that you have no plan on keeping that contract. So you have actually made a small contract there. And if you don't actually go ahead and then, contact that person and then meet them up for coffee, you're breaking your own contracts that you're making here, and you're setting a bad precedent within your own self. So I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. You're very aware of those contracts that you're making and whatnot, and just being a little bit more conscious of making those sorts of offhand contracts, because pardon me, they all get held on your record, so to speak, Capricorn. So and you can easily break those contracts. That's totally fine. But like, if you have no intention of calling somebody, don't say, "Oh, I'll call you next week." If you have no intention of calling them, because you're making a promise, you're making a contract with that person that you're going to call them next week. And if you don't call them next week, you're breaking your own contracts. And the ramifications of that. Sometimes, I just feel like this is something that's coming up for you this month. And you need to be a little bit more conscious of that, Capricorn. And, and it is quite easy to break those contracts, yeah? All you need to do is just sort of say, I break any contract, say to the universe, have a little D&M with the universe and just make it known that you want to break all those contracts that are inconsequential contracts or offhand contracts. There's specific wording for it, but I've forgotten. I normally just do it through meditations. And I'll do like a soul contract break meditation and break, all of them all at once, and start from scratch. I break all contracts that are not serving my highest good. I break all contracts that were not made in service of my highest good. So, it could be as simple as that. Just putting it out there. Especially with your manifestation energy, Capricorn, I feel like all you got to do is say it out loud and it's done. Okay. What is the answer Capricorn needs in regards to love and romance in August? What is the answer Capricorn needs? Don't get caught up in your emotions. So head over heart decisions this month, Capricorn. Very important for you. It's coming through again in your answer. Don't get caught up in your emotions. Make sure those are head over heart decisions. You're thinking things through very clearly. Going against the grain of what your heart wants this month is not the normal advice I would give people. Normally I tell people follow your heart, but I'm telling you to go against that grain this month, Capricorn, and do what your head knows is right for you. Okay, do what your logic is telling you is right for your higher self. Yeah. That's what we have for you, Capricorn. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again soon.